Right. I'm with Dustin Dill, co-owner of Southern Park Auto Mall. He's kind enough to take some of his time and do a little interview today. Dustin, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
Right. So could you just tell me about how you became co-owner of a pre-owned car store?
Well, and a little bit interesting. We originally I came here to coach up my partner's daughter and how to do financing. I was kind of experienced in doing the financing thing with another one of my cousins. I was a full-time auto worker and part-time finance guy for my cousin that's in the car business as well. And he was kind of giving me direction to where to go to train other young folks in how to do this financing thing, because it's a different model nowadays with all the special finance and credit challenge folks. So I came here to teach my partner's daughter, and she, once I gave her the instruction, she said it's not for her. Yeah, because it's not for everyone. And he and I sparked a nice relationship, and that's when I bought in and we became partners.
So it happened more natural.
Yeah.
And then you said you had a cousin. Is the car business kind of like a family thing?
Yeah. So my father owned his own business growing up, and it was a hardware business, which at about 13 I became a part of. I really liked it a lot, and I thought that was going to be my passion. Well, then I have family in the car business all along, 2 uncles that spawned a group of cousins that are in the car business. So I had both of those avenues to pursue, which I like both of. And then I was probably 19 years old when I thought to myself, boy, they go through a lot of problems being in business themselves. So I'm going to take this 9 to 5. So I got hired at General Motors at a young age, and I liked it. I thought it was a great gig. At 19, making 60, 70,000 bucks was a really good gig that I couldn't frown upon. And then as I got a little bit older, it just wasn't the gig for me. And I knew that there was more out there for me to do. And quite frankly, I really like what I do for a living. I mean, not only do I like purchasing the cars and being able to sell them, but I like the fact that I'm trying to give folks the best car that they can get for their money, as well as help young folks like yourself get into credit for the first time, because that's one thing I experienced as a young man at General Motors. I was there for 2 years, made over $130,000 in 2 years, and no one would give me a loan to buy my home. So I had all this money saved up, and I went to buy a home and they wouldn't go for it. And now being here, I'm able to, basically facilitate young folks with the first line of establishing credit, which is an installment loan in the form of a car. And then that should hopefully catapult them to the next step with home ownership.
Right.
And so on.
So you, would you say that kind of sets you apart from your competitors? Do you have an advantage what you do as far as pre-owned car stores go? Maybe not so much the big stores.
Well, so the big stores challenge is getting the new car bought for the younger person, which is kind of difficult, just because of the value of that car versus the value of a pre-owned car. I don't want to say that it sets me apart in the sense that they don't have the wherewithal to do that. I think what sets me apart is the knowledge that I know that I'm assisting a young person going forward with their credit, whereas they're more looking for the bottom line. So sometimes it costs me $300-400 that I could have made to get this young person financed, because their down payment wasn't enough or so on and so forth. But I'll take that step because I know what I went through at that young age.
Right.
And then
Gotcha.
you just hope that they come back to you, when they're
Right,
ready to make
Well, I'm sure
their
that,
next
that's
purchase.
an easy way to pick up repeat business, even word of mouth type stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you'll find if a lot of my business, I mean, is relevant to folks your age because again, they spread the word that way, but they've went somewhere else and they knew what they were up against. And then they come here and they're like, wow, you really try to make it easy. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. And then so that's more or less like what you do. What kind of advice would you give to someone coming into the car business, a young college grad out of YSU? What do you think you'd have for that?
Well, I mean, I'll say this: it's evolved a whole lot from a pay scale standpoint. How it used to be to where it is now. I mean, it used to be a really commission-driven business, where now folks like myself are settling for less per car gross.
Okay.
Which is gross is referred to as, I mean, that's a profit on the vehicle.
Right.
So folks are settling for less of a profit, trying to pay the people that they're hiring more of a fixed rate and going for more volume than they are anything else. Okay. Right. And by doing that, it helps the younger people, obviously with the credit. Does it enable you to make as much money as you could have in the past? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It all depends on how advantageous you are in going forward and selling the cars. But if I was to give any advice to anyone, it would be definitely give it a shot. If you feel like you have the drive to be in sales, this is a good avenue to start. Yeah. Okay. I mean, get your feet wet. You get to meet all kind of people that you probably otherwise wouldn't meet. It teaches you the fundamentals of credit as well, in the sense that you're getting to look at other folks' credit and maybe learn from their mistakes. And not put yourself in that kind of position. So I really like that. But I mean, obviously, I think that an education that you can bring, say, a communication degree, a business degree. I mean, nowadays, I have to admit that I'm not Facebook savvy or any of that kind of stuff. So a younger person might be able to really harness that Facebook tool and take it to the next level, where I'm pretty inept at doing it. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that would definitely be the social media avenue for a younger person, could really catapult them a lot further in this business than someone like myself. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the time. I don't want to take up any more of it.
Sure.
And I mean, that's all I need to know. It's the customer side, salesperson side, that really helpful. So
all right. Thank you.
Yeah.